She was 180 feet long, displaced 320 tons, and mounted 3 6-pounders and a 12-pounder, in addition to her 3 18-inch torpedo tubes. She had been built to serve defensively against enemy torpedo boats and offensively as a torpedo boat to attack larger ships. Why a war vessel was assigned to duty in these cold and largely empty South Atlantic waters would have been a mystery to her captain and her crew, except that wherever the British Empire was, there too was the Royal Navy. The Empire in the Falklands was evidenced by the Union Jack flying over the coaling station in Stanley. The Empire extended even farther south, across the Drake Passage to the South Shetland Islands, just above the Antarctic Circle and, at least in claims, beyond that to Antarctica itself, to the storm-driven snows and the eternal ice of the southernmost continent. After taking on a full load of coal, Durable was covered with black dust. The crew, grumbling as all sailors do, turned out to spit-shine the ship, seeking out all the tiny places on deck tainted by coal dust. The weather closed in with fog so thick that one could not see the brightly painted roofs of Stanley. Finally, when visibility permitted, Rufy took Durable out into the open sea. The Antarctic summer was coming, and Rufy's orders were to use the days of almost unending light to explore the seas around the icy continent. He set a course for the South Orkneys, sighting Coronation Island on a glaring day that threatened storm. Past the Orkneys, he gave the order to steer due south, into that part of Antarctic waters known as the Weddell Sea. Durable had not been designed for the comfort of the men who lived in her. The wind whistled through the open bridge, bringing with it the scent of the ice cap, and the officers' and the crew's quarters were inadequately heated. The ship pitched and tossed as around her the seas towered up, dwarfing her. When she was in the trough of a wave, her stacks were lower than the crest. The wind was holding at about force 7. On land such a gale would sway whole trees, but it was not unusual at sea, particularly in these latitudes. As the icy swells grew in size, the seas reaching 90 feet, Durable's passage became a carnival ride. She was quartering the swells, and that angle of attack gave her all of the motions that a floating body can achieve. Up, twist, twist again, and level out momentarily, then dive, twist, and thunder down into the trough, with the cold spray driving all the way back past the forward gun turrets. "Rather a spectacular show," Rufy Broom commented. Although he was all Navy and had been since the age of 14, Rufy had an easy way with his junior officers, so long as they did not try to take advantage of his amiability. "I'm quite sure there's a misunderstanding somewhere," James Camber replied. It was his watch, but the captain was on the bridge with him, both officers bundled into their cold-weather gear. "Are you sure our orders aren't to sail straight for the Coral Sea?" Rufy laughed. "Too bad you're not the senior officer. If you were, I'd pretend ignorance and let you interpret our orders in just that way." Rufy would have liked nothing better than to have been able to sail straight to those balmy waters off Australia's northeastern shore. The Durable's job in the frigid Weddell Sea was to take weather observations and investigate the conditions of the ice packs. Afterward, she was to proceed westward through the Drake Passage, sailing as close to Antarctica as weather permitted, until she reached the Ross Sea and the Ross Ice Shelf, a frozen mass almost the size of France. Down here at the bottom of the world, a relatively short journey took a ship quickly across many degrees of longitude. Accordingly, the run from the Weddell Sea to the Ross Sea would bring Durable from a point south of South America to a corresponding point southeast of Australia and New Zealand. After the tortuous haul past the Antarctic coast, Rufy would at least have the consolation of being nearer to home. The exploration of high latitudes was a priority in naval circles, and other ships were doing the same as Rufy's. The fact that Durable had not been built for pushing through ice packs seemed not to have troubled the Admiralty. Fortunately, Rufy's orders were hedged with the words "if possible," an escape clause that he would not hesitate to use if he needed it.